second of winning the game, 20 in a row.
Slam dunk with authority.
What an assist, all-time leader, Magic Johnson. Oh, he missed the shot. He did a little showboating, and the mustard came off the hot dog.
Ladies and gentlemen, this game is in the refrigerator. The door is closed, the lights are out, the eggs are cooling, the butter is getting hard, and the jello's jiggling.
Hello, everybody. I'm Stu Lance, and on behalf of the Los Angeles Lakers, Staples, the EEG, we'd like to welcome you here for the unveiling of the statue that commemorates, obviously, the greatness of the one and only Chick Hearn. I know there are a lot of people here that obviously Chick has touched their lives. All of the fans, I'm sure he's touched your lives. That's why so many of you always felt that he made you feel like a member of the family. But there are a lot more of us here that he did more than touch our lives. He almost kind of constructed a portion of our lives. I remember reading about, because even as old as I am, I wasn't around for basketball back in 1961 when Chick did his first game back in March of that year, playoff game. So since that time, this city and its fans have had a love affair with not only the Lakers, but because of Chick, it was the Lakers, but they had that love affair with Chick Hearn. I remember a few years back, a couple of years after he had passed, coming into Staples Center, and they have so much security here. You have to show your ID. Obviously, I had forgotten my ID that day. And I told the guy that wouldn't let me go from point A to point B, I said, well, I work for the Lakers, I'm the announcer, my name is Stu Lance. He had no clue. So I pretended like I was searching for my ID in my wallet. I was going to show him maybe a driver's license or something. And I always carried Chick's press pass. Thanks to Marge, she gave me a box of things that I could keep forever, and one of the things that I never go without is that press pass. So I'm searching through my wallet, and I have, it comes out. I'm just looking for credit card, driver's license, and then Chick's press pass. He sees the press pass, and he says, "Chicky baby," and never questioned me any further about whether I could go from point A to point B. He just let me walk right on through. Not being a name dropper, I learned right then that I could be a name dropper. 15 years sitting beside Chicky baby, that's, sorry Keith, twice as long as you. That's an honor that I will always cherish. The fact that we were able to work together for 15 years, especially in the beginning. A lot of people thought, well, here's oil and water. Those two will never, ever work together. But again, because he was such a professional and made things work in a team fashion, I was able to do what I do and not really step on his toes that much, although I stepped on his toes. And I heard about it many, many times, as Keith will attest to. I think you had to sit next to Chick to understand what Keith and I are talking about when you step on those toes. I'm sure Keith will have a couple of words in that regard. But it's, it was raining earlier today, and then when it comes time for the ceremony for Chick, you notice the rain stops. When he got his star on the Walk of Fame, it was raining. Well, he's in a place now where he has a little bit more power. Stop the rain. But I don't know how long, knowing Chick, and he had no patience. I'm sure he's up there right now saying, "Stu, let's go. Let's get this thing going. Let's go." So without any further ado, let's start the program. And first person I'd like to introduce, General Manager of the Los Angeles Lakers, Mitch Kupchak.
The expression "let's go," that's an expression that Chick used along with other terminology when we were on our charter airplane getting ready to take off, and the plane was always delayed a little bit. So Chick would yell out "let's go," along with some other choice words. I'd like to recognize Tim Lewicki, who's our partner with the Lakers and Staples Center. And of course, say congratulations for your win last night. And I normally watch the Los Angeles Kings. I normally watch a lot of basketball, but I must admit last night I turned off the Denver, Utah game when I watched the Kings game to the very end. Congratulations and good luck. I also see a lot of familiar faces, and it's a danger in starting to call out people's names, so I won't do that, but I recognize so many former Lakers, you know, behind the two rows here. I would like to recognize members of the Buss family who are in the back there, I see, but right here in the front row, of course, Jeannie Buss. Marge, I'm going to speak primarily to you. About a week ago, at this time of the year, we bring in our scouts and we prepare for the draft, the NBA draft. And most of those people you know, Gene Tormolin, and the other scouts that have worked with us. We also go out for a dinner during the week, and we did that about a week ago in the South Bay. At the dinner, in addition to our scouts, were John Black, Gary Vitti, Jerry was there, Bill Burtka. And halfway through the dinner, you know, we started to gravitate towards Chick Hearn's stories. And we talked and told stories for almost a full hour. And never did I laugh as hard and as long as I did during that 1 hour. Now, you know I can't share those stories with this group today. I think you know that. But it was a wonderful evening that came to a close, and we all felt like crying because we just couldn't laugh anymore. Although it's been about 8 years since Chick passed away, we still miss him terribly. At the same time, we must be grateful for the almost 40 years of service that he gave to the city of Los Angeles, the fans of Los Angeles, and this organization. His wonderful contribution as an announcer, and of course from day one when the franchise just came to Los Angeles from Minnesota. There's not a personality or a star for this organization like there has been with Chick Hearn. Marge, we also want to be thankful, you know, that you continue to come to games, come to Laker functions. I know you're involved in Chick's Foundation at USC. When you walk into a room, you light up the room like nobody else. And don't ever underestimate, you know, your contribution to Chick's career and your impact on this organization. Today we're here to unveil the statue of Chick, and it's only fitting that it's in Star Plaza, where people who've listened to Chick can walk by, touch the statue, and remember Chick and his contributions to the Los Angeles Lakers. It's also fitting that thousands of generations to come could also walk by, and although they might not know who Chick is, hopefully they're with somebody. It could be a mother, it could be a father, and they touch the statue and they say, "Dad, who was this?" And the father says, "Son, sit down. Let me tell you about the greatest broadcaster ever."
Thank you, Mitch. On behalf of the 5,000 men and women who work at LA Live and Staples Center behind me, we're very excited. And Marge, we're really appreciative of the fact that you're here today to watch the unveiling of the statue. Chick is now going to be honored with the likes of Wayne Gretzky, Magic Johnson, and Oscar De La Hoya here in Star Plaza. We're very excited about that, and we're looking forward to all the fans who are going to have an opportunity, once you see the statue, be able to participate in the statue with Chick Hearn. Jeannie Buss, thank you very much. The Los Angeles Lakers, Dr. Buss, Phil Anschutz, Tim Lewicki. We took a lot of time in designing the statue, and when it's unveiled, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about how the fans and the residents of Los Angeles will be able to come here at Star Plaza and interact with Chick just like he's there. I have a quick Chick Hearn story. It was in the early 90s at the Forum, and we had just made the decision to get a new scoreboard there. And we installed it, and the old scoreboard there, for those of you who remember, was really run off of Christmas lights. That's how it kept going. And we also had the shot clocks that actually hung from the rafters at the Forum. So we put the new scoreboard in. The new shot clocks were now on the baskets because that was pretty much the norm back then in the NBA. And I got a call before one of the games. It was like the second game that we had just put the scoreboard in. And it was Chick. He said, you got to come up here. And those of you who were at the Forum during those days knew that Chick was way up along the western sidelines there because he loved to be with the people. And he made us, when we built Staples Center, guarantee that he would continue to be with the people. So instead of Chick being on the sideline there, where most of the announcers announce, Chick is actually with the people there up in the stands in section 111 up there. But Chick calls me up there. He says, Lee, take a look at this. What do you see? And I see Chick, I see the basketball court, I see the shot clocks, I see the baskets. What's the problem? It's all brand new stuff, new technology. He says, Lee, look at this again. Are you looking at the whole picture? I said, yes, I am. He says, how am I going to tell the fans how much time is left on the 24-second clocks? You can't see the 24-second clocks. I said, Chick, I see it over here, I see it over there. He says, Lee, you don't understand how I call the game. I'm going back and forth, back and forth. You need to fix this. I said, Chick, I don't know how I'm going to be able to fix this. This is all installed. Everything is in here right now. He says, do you have any white tape? And I said, we've got some white tape down there. He says, you get white tape, you get some of your guys down there, and I want you to tape a box around those 24-second clocks. Then you come back up here, and I'll show you, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. We went down there, we taped those shot clocks up. I went back up there, Chick showed it to me, and sure enough, he was right, because now it was framed. He was able to see the 24-second clocks and actually to call the game the way he wanted to call the game. But that's what was all about Chick. I mean, he was detail-oriented, and he made sure that he saw everything so he could repeat that to the fans who were not there, but who were actually watching it on TV and listening to it on the radio. Chick, I know you're smiling down on us all down here, and you're really going to be excited once you see what this statue looks like. Now, it's actually my honor to introduce a gentleman who happens to be the president of the Southern California Sports Broadcasters Association, a Hall of Fame TV play-by-play announcer of the Los Angeles Kings for 37 years. And I think, outside of Marge, I think this gentleman knew Chick longer than anybody. Please give a warm round of applause for Bob Miller.
Thank you very much, Lee. Jeannie Buss, Marge Hearn, thank you very much. I am truly honored to be here today for the unveiling of this statue honoring a man who set the standard for basketball broadcasting. He also means a lot to you Laker fans, obviously, but he means a lot to me too. 37 years ago, the owner of the Lakers and the Kings, Jack Kent Cooke, put Chick in charge of finding a hockey announcer for the Kings. I'm very fortunate Chick picked me, and it was the start of a very special relationship. We didn't spend a lot of time socially away from the games, but I knew that I could always call on Chick for some advice. Like all of us, I listened to Chick and enjoyed his broadcast so much, especially on radio, where his enthusiasm, his accuracy, and all of the comments that he made and all of the things that he mentioned of going on in the basketball game were so accurate and colorful. The statue design is perfect. It was mentioned in the newspaper what it is, and even though it hasn't been unveiled, I think some of you read about that all of you eventually will be able to walk up and sit in an empty chair next to Chick and act as if you are his broadcast partner. The only difference with this statue is you can speak and Chick can't. Now that's a real reversal. So I, again, am very honored to represent the Los Angeles Kings and to be here today for the tribute to this outstanding announcer. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a man who played 12 years in the NBA, 5 of them with the Lakers. For 7 years, he sat in that chair next to Chick as Chick's partner on the broadcast. He worked with Chick from 1981 to 1987. Please welcome Keith Erickson.
Very much, Bob. It's great to be here today, and let me just say that as Bob mentioned, those years that I worked with Chick, my wife said that those were the quietest years of my life. And what I'd like to do is just give you a rendition and a couple of quick stories about Chick and one of Chick's favorite players who's here this afternoon, and that's Elgin Baylor. My rendition is how Chick and I worked together. We worked together for those 8 years, and it was pretty quiet. And Chick did the play-by-play, and he gave all of the information that anybody would be interested in: what a player's number was, where they grew up, what their grandparents' names were, where they're buried, all that pertinent information. The color commentator that Stu and I were was to explain why a play worked or why it didn't. So this is how our rendition, my rendition of Chick and I working together as Chick picks up the play-by-play action. Byron Scott inbounds the ball to Magic Johnson. Magic tattoos that ball to the floor, 47 feet from one end, 47 feet from the other. He looks down on one side, there's James Worthy, 6'8", 220 pounds, University of North Carolina. He doesn't give it to Worthy, looks on the other side, there's Kurt Rambis, 6'8", 215, University of Santa Clara. He gives that ball to Rambis. Rambis is 15 feet from the basket, he's looking up to shoot. He better not shoot, he'll be on the bench the rest of his life. No, he doesn't shoot. He looks inside, there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 7'2", 260 pounds, out of UCLA. He's got the big hand outstretched. Rambis throws that ball inside. Kareem's got it. He fakes right, swings left, shoots that patented skyhook. Hits one rim, hits the other. He missed. Keith, why did he miss? Well, because that's enough. And so, not having been able to talk for 8 years, I thought this was a great opportunity to be able to share a little bit. One of the stories I like to tell about Chick and his professionalism. Just when that light went on, he was the ultimate pro, and every game was as if it were the 7th game of the NBA Finals, Lakers against the Celtics. We were in Cleveland on a road trip, and it was a blizzard outside. We're staying in a hotel, and the heat went out. There's no food. There is nothing available anywhere. And Chick had a tendency to be grumpy in situations like that. And as we got on the bus, Chick is getting on going, the heat's out. The hotel stinks. Why are we staying here? There's no coffee. There's no food. What's going on? We get on the bus. We're driving. There's a blizzard. Cars are off on the side of the freeway. Nobody out there. And he's going, look at these dumb people out here driving these cars in this kind of weather. It's freezing in this bus. Where's the heat on the bus? We get to the arena and go inside. There's no heat in the arena. There's no food and there's no coffee in the arena. Where's the coffee? Who's running this stupid place anyway? It wouldn't be like this at the Forum. We'd have some coffee there, and we sit down before, and the engineer's there. He's getting all the buttons. Chick goes, how much time before the game? It's freezing in here. What's going on with this? Get me some. There's no coffee. It's freezing in here. What's going on? And the engineer finally says to him, Chick, we're on in 3. God, it's so cold in here. 2, 1, we're on. Hello again, everybody. It's Chick Hearn from Cleveland, and we've got the best game for you tonight. The Lakers against the... You would never know what he had gone through, complaining put all of us through for the last 3 hours. Now, as I mentioned, with Chick doing the play-by-play, and I never saw Chick speechless. And there was only one time that I ever heard that he was speechless, and that was when he was interviewing the star of the game after a Laker victory, and it happened to be Elgin Baylor. Elgin comes out after the game, and Chick, before he throws it to commercial, says, ladies and gentlemen, Elgin has agreed to come out. Elgin, one of the greatest players in the NBA today, and you're going to love this interview. Stay with us. So he throws it to commercial. It's on live TV, simulcast, like Chick used to do. And so Elgin comes out, and he's got his sweats on. He's got a towel wrapped around his neck. He's still perspiring. And Chick is dressed in his 3-piece suit, and his shoes are shined, and he's just looking as good as he could possibly look. And he's got the microphone. It's on live TV, and Elgin's standing there, and they get through with the interview, and Chick says, Elgin, you had a great game as usual. Thank you for coming out and being our guest, and for coming out and spending the time with us. I'd like to give you this fine gift certificate to our sponsor, Harrison Frank. Go down and get yourself something really nice to wear. And it's on live television with the microphone in one hand, the gift certificate in the other, and Elgin, sweating, his towel around his neck, he starts to reach for the gift certificate, and he takes a step back, and he looks at Chick, he looks at his shoes and his suit, and he says, no, you keep it, you need it worse than I do. And Chick had nothing to say. He was speechless. Elgin did a great job, and I'll tell you, when Elgin got back to the locker room and told the players because of how many times did you ever hear Chick say, Rambus blew another layup? And there's no opportunity for the players to, that's on live television to all over Southern California. And boy, the players love to hear Elgin, what he had to say to Chick, what he did to him on live TV. Those 8 years that I spent with Chick Hearn were the greatest years of my broadcasting career. Chick taught Southern California the game of basketball since when he joined the Lakers in 1961, and through those 3,338 consecutive games he broadcast up until the year 2000, he continued to teach all of us the game of basketball. There was no one like him. Greatest basketball broadcaster ever. And I got to say, and I was blessed enough to be able to sit right next to Chick and listen to him broadcast all of those games. It was just the greatest thrill that I could have had. And Chick was always like a family member to me and to my wife and Marge, and my wife Adrienne and Marge are still very close friends, and I'm just honored to be a part of this ceremony today and to have had the chance to work with Chick all of those years. Marge, thank you so much, and it's great to see you, and nice to see all of you too. Thank you. And I almost forgot. It's my honor to introduce the next speaker, who played for the Lakers 11 of his 14 NBA season and was on 3 NBA championship Laker teams here in Los Angeles. Please welcome Byron Scott.
Oh, wow. Marge, first of all, it is so good seeing you. You look as beautiful as you did 10, 15 years ago when we were here in Los Angeles playing at the Forum. We all remember Chick. You know, the one thing that we have as players is we don't get an opportunity, or we didn't have an opportunity to really hear some of the stories or be behind the scenes with Chick as much as, you know, Stu obviously and Keith did. But, you know, one of my greatest thrills when I came to Los Angeles and I was playing for the Lakers was my rookie year, when after one of the games I had played a pretty good game, and, you know, Stu wanted to have me as his guest. And, you know, to have to walk all the way up them stairs to sit down with him and talk about the game and getting ready for another game was one of the biggest thrills of my life. And then to put the headphones on and to have him ask you questions about your childhood, and also answer those questions as well, because he knew more about me, you know, my rookie year than I knew. You know, I had to remember, I was born and raised here in Los Angeles. I did, you know, go to Morningside High School. I was from Inglewood, California. All the stuff that he was telling me that I didn't know he knew. He knew my career at Arizona State. He was such a professional as far as understanding his guest and his team, you know, the Lakers. And, you know, being a kid that grew up here in Los Angeles, this was one of the biggest thrills for me, was to be sitting beside Chick Hearn. And believe me, when we sit here and we talk about Marge and what a great person she is, she gave Chick a lot of his material. Marge was one of the funniest ladies, one of the sweetest ladies that you'll ever come in contact with. And if you have a chance to meet her and sit down and talk to her, you'll understand where Chick got a lot of his comedy. You know, he was sort of a comedian. You know, some of his jokes and his stories from, believe me. And Marge, we miss him terribly. He was a man who made you, if you listened on radio or you looked at TV, you could turn away from the TV and Chick could make you feel the game. He could make you almost see everything that was going on. He could make you just in your mind think that you're looking at Kareem shoot a sky hook or James Worthy flying to the basket for a slam dunk. He had that type of ability. So we try not to use the word from a coaching standpoint great a lot, but Chick was obviously the greatest that ever did it and the best that will ever do it. And I think we should all appreciate that. So like I said, we had a lot of fun with Chick, and he had a lot of fun with us. I was, you know, privileged to be put into the Laker family, and Chick made you feel right at home every single day that you was around him. And he was, you know, like a surrogate father to me. He was somebody that kind of took me under my wing, because if you guys remember when I came here, it wasn't a very popular choice at the time. And, you know, Chick was one that kind of took me under the wing and just told me, hey, you know, Rook, he didn't call me Byron, he didn't call me Mr. Scott, obviously, he just called me Rook. And just told me, hey, Rook, you just go out there and play and you'll win everybody over. Just do the very best you can, play as hard as you can every time you're out there on the floor. And I think the next thing he said after that was, now, Rook, go get me some water, you know. But you gotta love him. He was the best that ever did it. And like I said, Chick, we miss you. And God bless you. Take care, guys. Thank you.
What's up, B. Scott? I need it. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure there's been a lot of things said about Chick and a lot of things we know. Some we don't know. Some we won't tell. But Chick was, he was a lot of things. A lot of things to the Lakers. He was a lot to this city. Before I came here, I remember the stories of Chick and how he created cohesiveness in the city with his broadcasting. Because no matter what was happening in the city of Los Angeles, no matter what obstacles you had to overcome at your job, no matter what neighborhood you came from, when you came to the sports arena or you came to the Great Western Forum, from what I understood, you know, Chick created that harmony, that family that we all knew as Showtime. It all started with the voice of Chick Hearn. He was a grandfather to some. He was a big brother to most of us. And to be able to spend time with Chick, you knew that he was more than just an announcer. If you watched the example that Marge and Chick would set, just being human beings on a day-to-day basis, you learn how to be a good human. And Chick Hearn used his platform to educate and to enroll people into what was possible in their lives. He brought a lot of happiness. And if you could spend time with Chick, which were the precious moments that we had, where we held him hostage on the bus because we had him one-on-one to ourselves. If you had a chance to eat breakfast with Chick, if you could get up early enough, because he read his newspapers and he did his crossword puzzles and he was informed about everything from CNN to MSNBC to the Dodgers. He loved the Dodgers after the Lakers season, but he meant a lot to us because if you had the opportunity to have breakfast or to have an argument or a debate that you could never win, because he was a historian, and even if he lost, he would let you know that he still knew more than you. You know, Marge, we thank you for all the sacrifice you made in lending us Chick all those years, and teaching us how to be a family, and teaching us how to be human beings, and teaching us how to give back. I think that's what you and Chick demonstrated more than anything. All his brilliance and all his broadcasting. The one thing that he did with you is he gave so much, and that's the only thing that made him happy, I believe, was to be able to make other people happy. He was a special man, and he lives with us every day. You know, he was the first one. He and Susan Stratton gave me an opportunity to do a game once when Stu had a family situation that he had to go, and Chick told me that I should get into broadcasting and kind of coach me through it. So he was a wonderful, wonderful human being. My mother was in love with Chick. She was absolutely in love with him, and they would share different isms. The Jello is jiggling, I believe, is something that he and my mom came up with, because when we used to go to Charlotte and play the Hornets, then they would get together. That was the only reason she got a satellite, was so she would stay up and not to watch me, but she would just wanted to listen to Chick. He was very, very instrumental to the players, to the fans, like Dan Cannon in the back. He was just a special human being. And even though the eggs are cooling and the Jello is jiggling, the Chick Hearn light will always live within us, and we miss him. And this is a special day. And Marge, we're so happy that you are with us and all that you have shared. And we just thank you for everything. Thank you very much.
But now it's time for the event itself, the unveiling. So if you'll help me here, we're going to count down from 5. All right? Now we're going to count down from 5, and we obviously at 1 we're going to unveil. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, Marge, you know how it feels to sit next to him at that desk. Keith knows, I know, what does sitting here, having all these people come out, and the honor itself of having Chick's statue, what does that mean to you?
Down in front. Down in front.
I don't even know how I feel about it. It's so wonderful that they would all come out for this. I really appreciate all of you coming out for this tribute to Chick. It's wonderful. I had a whole thing written, but I couldn't even think of it now to say it. I'm thrilled with all the speakers, seeing all my good friends, Chick's friends.
What do you think Chick is saying right now as he looks down upon us at this event?
He's probably saying, Marge, get back to your seat and let the pros talk.
You know when they were talking about how, especially when James said about Chick getting some of his material, Byron said the same thing from you. There would have been, I just don't think there would have been this kind of success in his career without you, because you were the only person that had any kind of say on Chick. Did you at all, at times at home, give him any advice about what he did?
Only once.
And?
Only once.
And what happened on that once?
He was using an expression that I didn't think was too smart to go over the air, and I won't tell you what it was.
Okay. All right, we're ready to do some photo shoots now. Let me have this one.
All right, if we'd have our featured speakers real quick come up. All the athletes that Chick made famous. Come on both sides, if everybody gets as close to Marge as they can. Kurt. You talk about an all-star team of all-time Lakers. Let's hear it all now for Marge Hearn.
The one thing I want everybody to know.
One more word from Marge.
Is that Jeannie Buss and Linda Rambis started on this maybe 5 or 6 years ago. They didn't tell me. We had talked about it. But all of a sudden, Jeannie had it finished. And how much they worked on it, I can never thank them enough.
Thank you.
It's because of them. To make a statue with the facial features so good. But it's really good, I think.
A little bit bigger than the real thing?
Well, yeah,
Slightly.
it would have to be. But I think the idea of this chair with it is wonderful for the fans. And you know, he would love pleasing the fans.
Absolutely.
That's how he was.
And finally, you were the only one that actually called him by his given name, Francis.
Francis Dale.
Now, how did Chick get his nickname?
He was working for a company and playing on their basketball team. And he had an old pair of tennis shoes with holes in them and so forth. And all the girls in the office said, "You can't play on our team in those shoes. We're going to get you a new pair of shoes." So the next morning when he got up on his desk, there was this beautiful package, and he was so excited. He said, "Oh, I've got my new shoes." He opened the package, and there was a dead chicken in there. So they started calling him Chicken, reduced it to Chick, and it stuck. It stayed with him.
It's always the stories. Marge, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
I'm Mark from Dana with the LA Times. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
What do you think this dedication would mean to him?
It would mean so much that I think it would absolutely embarrass him a little bit. You know, he didn't care much for publicity, and but he had some kind of a joke about it. It looks a lot like him. I mean, that's hard to do.
I just want to say hi to you, sweetheart, Joanne Bus.
Yes. Oh, I'm so nice to see. It's so nice to see you here. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you so much.
Great dinner.
Oh, fabulous day. Fabulous day. I mean, you know, the old common expression, this is as good as it gets. To have this in your life and in your basketball group and team, whatever.
And what do you think about the likeness of the statue?
I think it's very good of him because so often statues aren't. You know, it's hard to get it. No, I think it's very good of him. I really do. I think it's exceptional. Did you meet the people that made the statue?
I saw them, haven't talked to them
they're
yet.
here. Yeah.
And what was your initial reaction when you heard they were going to be doing this?
You know who? She's not getting enough credit, but Jeannie Buss. It's at least 6 or 7 years ago when we were having lunch. She said, "You know, we should have a statue of Chick." She said, "I kind of see him sitting at a desk." She's the one that started it. She's the one that did it. And with Linda Rambus's help. They're a great team.
It means that Chick will live on forever. You know, I think every time you pass the Staples Center, you'll see a little bit of Chick around here. You know, you'll probably hear his voice in the back of your mind, and it just means, like I said, that he'll live on, and that's the greatest thing because he was so great at what he did, and he brought so many people so much happiness that he should, and I think this is very well deserved.
And lastly, what was your initial reaction when you heard that they were going to be dedicating this?
Oh, I thought it was long overdue. Probably should have been done about 5 or 6 years ago, but you know, always better late than never. And you know, again, they got the right man up there. You know, they got the best in the business.